I heard my name in a place it did not belong. It came from a small speaker on my desk, mixed with soft noise and old laughter. At first, I thought my mind was playing a trick on me. Old recordings can confuse you like that. Sounds overlap. Voices stretch. But this was different. The voice said my name clearly. Not once, not by accident. It said my name like it knew me. I stopped the recording and sat still. I didn't move my hands. I didn't breathe deeply. I just listened to the quiet room around me and felt something shift inside my chest. When a voice calls your name from the past, you don't ask who it is first. You ask why it was waiting for you. Before that day, my life felt simple and steady. I worked with sound for a living. I cleaned old family recordings and turned them into digital files. I liked the work because sound does not lie. It carries truth, even when people forget. I lived alone. I spoke to my parents often. I believed my childhood was safe, not perfect, but honest. I trusted my family. I trusted my memories. That trust was important to me because it helped me understand who I was. I never thought my past was hiding anything. The box of tapes belonged to my family. My mother asked me to restore them so she could hear my grandparents' voices again. I agreed without thinking. It felt harmless, warm, familiar, until the voice appeared. The tape was old, older than me. I checked the date written on the case. I wasn't born yet when it was recorded. That detail sat heavily in my mind. I rewound the tape and played it again. The voice returned. It spoke softly, but with purpose. "Make sure you tell him," the voice said. "Tell him when the time comes." I felt cold, not scared, just aware. I called my mother and asked how old the tapes were. She answered easily. I asked who usually recorded family moments. She paused for a second before replying. That pause mattered. I didn't tell her what I heard. Not yet. I needed to listen more. Over the next few days, I went through every tape. Birthday parties, long drives, family dinners. In many of them, the same voice appeared. Sometimes it said my name. Sometimes it said nothing at all. It stayed close, just outside attention. No one ever replied to it. That silence felt heavy, planned. I asked my father. He brushed it off. I asked my aunt. She smiled and changed the topic. I asked my mother again. She told me I was overthinking. That answer hurt, not because it was unkind, but because it avoided truth. I started feeling alone in a new way. Not physically alone, but separated by knowledge I didn't have. Everyone around me seemed calm, while I felt like I was standing at the edge of something unfinished. I replayed my childhood in my mind, moments when adults spoke quietly, times I was told not to ask questions, decisions made for me without explanation. What I once called care now felt like control. I didn't want to believe that, but belief stopped working. The real break came when I noticed a cut in one tape. Someone had removed part of it and put it back together, carefully, on purpose. I restored the missing sound and listened. The voice was clear. "He doesn't know yet," it said. "And he must not know until it's safe." My hands shook slightly as I stopped the recording. That night, I asked my mother directly. She didn't deny it. She looked tired, like someone who had carried a secret for too long. She told me the man in the recordings was not family. He was there to watch, to record, to protect. Before I was born, there were serious threats connected to my father's past. Legal problems, angry people. The police advised quiet protection. So my parents agreed. The man stayed close. He documented everything. He spoke my name to remind himself why he was there. When the danger passed, he left. They didn't tell me because they wanted me to feel normal, free. But freedom without truth is fragile. I felt torn. Part of me understood their fear. Another part felt changed. My identity had grown beside a hidden truth. I had lived safely but not fully informed. I found the man years later. He was older, calm, honest. He said his job was to stay invisible. He said goodbye would have made him real to me. That made sense. And it still hurt. In the end, I chose not to erase the tapes. I kept them. I accepted the truth. What I gained was understanding. What I lost was simplicity. What will never return is the version of me who believed silence meant peace. Now, when I hear my name on those tapes, I don't feel fear. I feel awareness. I learned that some voices wait patiently in the past, not to scare us, but to be heard when we are ready. Thank you for listening to my story. If it made you think about your own memories or unanswered questions, you're not alone. Share your thoughts if you feel comfortable. And if you want more quiet, honest stories like this, I hope you'll stay with me.